it
It
actually
was like,
worked.
there is, well, that seems like that's an official integration. It sounded like he wanted me to do something back door.
Oh, he was probably like coding his way,
Yeah, well,
you know, and externalizing. Okay, we're just going straight in.
knew I couldn't go data. I was mentioning him all there.
Zoom.
Here, guys, I did check the box office this morning.
Well, it's gonna be a long briefing. If you're gonna be on that. Go.
Oh, what did you say?
Huh?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Oh, it's my PowerPoint here.
Like,
Oh, okay. Excuse my
Is it
you made like the.
It's a streaming.
I'll make clips out of that too.
Well, then don't
I
worry
think I
about,
downloaded it.
don't worry about what you say.
Always put music,
Damn, thriving.
Yeah, we are.
I miss my Panera coffee, man. So out of the way from me in Albany, like I don't even have the
You're like
security
done with that
anymore.
one already.
I know, like down like water.
Oh, there's a power.
Yeah, I debated Google Slides, but it honestly just irks me every time I use it, so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not. Anytime someone made a Google slide to do a forecast verification, it kind of drove me nuts. Like, we all have Microsoft Office, what we're doing.
Yeah, PowerPoint's really good. Okay, so good. Gross stuff.
Thank you. What's up, gentlemen? How you doing?
Happy National.
Justin, I haven't seen you all weekend.
I know. Anyone wants to do it.
It's way too much of it.
This is a candy. Yeah, long game.
Yeah.
I already got it. Yeah, working.
First snacks with everyone. There's fruits and some.
Oh, okay.
Candy.
Yo. What? Not bad, how you doing?
Pretty good.
That's Storm Chase Street.
It's been good.
A lot, but good.
It's not. I mean, yeah, it's a lot. I feel like compared to some other.
WS wall too.
Yeah, everything's going well. It's a busy semester, but
Yeah.
Oh, junior year's the worst.
yeah.
Unless you're me, mixed senior year.
Fair.
No.
I was, I think one of your.
Yeah, it's going well. I got Kevin Abbott up there to like hurt me, so.
That's crazy that you two ended up in the same.
Got like.
Damn who?
I got like one of those.
Dave.
Yeah, Dave's up there. I didn't know Dave that well.
Yeah, like
Sure.
like.
Right.
Ran into him at bars a lot.
Make the top.
Um,
Absolutely.
Let's talk about
I wish I did something for Halloween. I did it.
Yeah, but definitely like more so in Albany.
You guys went as SpongeBob and then he went as Patrick. No way.
Alright.
We love that. Yeah, and I went to the so very interesting. So very interesting thing, but I didn't have to use there. What happening? I'm trying to go to Michigan.
How you doing, Amber? Good, how was the game?
Oh my gosh, when I was what Rob was just saying.
Did he like it?
He did, he liked it, except like 8 minutes in the first quarter, he like stayed long.
Ooh, that's not how it works.
Like, you know, we're not here yet. But.
A lot of goodies, up here.
Then Christian Rock.
CWS.
I'm not be, yeah, he's every tax, so never mind.
Yeah, so we left at the beginning of the third. And then of course they got really good.
That's a good game.
It was
So loud in the last couple minutes.
I bet it was nuts. He just
You gotta ease them in.
eased him in, yeah. Yeah, someone was like, oh, he's gonna wanna go to all the games. I'm like, one a season's quite enough, thanks.
Good, how you doing? How you guys doing? Great. Did you? I knew someone had to support that.
for the second day.
I mean, that's just.
They went down instead of what they.
Just kidding, I don't.
You were trying to sell it for $200, $300. How's it going?
Good.
You did so long.
I know, I don't usually come to these.
Yeah, they went down.
Not one.
He's great. I didn't think the game.
It was fun. It was really tight, another 3 minutes left. Yeah, after that game, we moved up one, like. The spread was 32, so. Oh, hey there, Bill.
I haven't seen this girl.
You haven't?
No, you gotta come back every day. I thought, and if you try to get his exercise, that would like on the wall. It's so fun. Yeah.
We just got into the. Really close to like where the football players were like.
Oh, is it time?
Yeah.
Oh, can't believe you there.
I will go for it, yeah. Gotta say hello.
Yeah, I could learn something.
This is like.
Yes, yes, help yourself. Get some candy and I get some.
That was also, I'm so.
No.
How you doing? I haven't seen Leah.
That was not my. I don't know.
Just looking at Jakob.
You're like mom.
Gonna introduce myself, but I think everybody in here.
I think so. Just like maybe chat about like we've up to.
Talking about how we don't need it somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. I brought the great fall weather with me. 78 last week.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for coming out. This is by far the largest crowd we've had for weather. So I guess maybe we just bring Kevin down every week from now on and that'll take care of that problem. But yeah, thanks for Kevin for coming in today. Happy to have him back.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, maybe just talk about what you up to since graduation and take it away.
Yeah, well. I think I know everybody in here, but yeah, so I graduated and then I got a job in Albany with WTEN. I've been there for 3 months now. Took a little break. It's been really fun. The weather's kept me on my toes. We haven't had severe weather. Well, if Quinn was here, I'd say it's his poverty season, just not living up to the hype because he swears that severe season, you hear me? He swears that severe season is everything, it's worth it. I don't buy it. I mean, the best thunderstorm this past summer had to be during Arts Fest. I don't know if everybody was here during that. I mean, that was cool. It wasn't cool for Arts Fest, but it was cool for weather weenies like us. I gotta turn this on, right? So yeah, I've been there 3 months. It's been really cool. I love working with the weather team there and the rest of the team. Obviously, I work more so with weather team, so they get a special shout out. But yeah, so really happy to be back and doing this again. Henry's memorial briefing, October 30th, guys. Is that over halfway through the semester? It's gotta be. It's gotta be more like 2/3.
Week 11, 2 weeks back.
Week 11. Week 11. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. All right. So we'll take a look at October so far, which has been toasty because a lot of months are toasty these days. So we'll start with temperature. Almost everybody's above average for the month in terms of max temperature. I feel like that's the best indicator. I know that the case can be made for like average temperature, but I think the time of day people are out most is when the high temperature occurs. So that's just my stance on this. You got a little part of the Laurel Highlands over there that is slightly below average. Everybody else is toasty. And notice as you work your way to the northeast, you get that red coloring, even dark red coloring, 3 to 4 degrees above average. I can tell you what, that trend continues as you go farther to the northeast. It has been a very toasty month in Albany. I'm just saying that we broke, I think, like 5 temperature records. It's been crazy, maybe 4, at least tie. If you count ties, I count ties. That's the highest temperature it's ever been on that day, even if it's a tie. So it's been a remarkable month, and that's why this week is kind of a shock and a bummer because you start going below average, and you haven't really been near average. Yeah, it's kind of a rude awakening. Precipitation, it's interesting. Almomost everybody is below normal again. It's not as dramatic unless you're in eastern Pennsylvania, when you're towards the Delaware water gap, where you haven't really seen much in the way of rain, I suppose. But most of central Pennsylvania is about 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches below, maybe even higher, 2 inches below. You have a couple pockets of green that would indicate slightly above normal precipitation for the month. So even though most of Pennsylvania has been, on the drier side for October, a month usually dominated by, sometimes you get one of those like tropical remnants that swing up, especially those crazy La Nina years where you get like whatever Greek letter they're calling it this year, storm, the swing up here at that time of year. Like, I think it felt like it happened every time I was here as an undergrad, but maybe not. It rains a lot in October, and this month we haven't seen it. Bottom line is, when it has been raining? The weekends. That's not a surprise. So highest temperature so far, 81, the 4th and the 5th. That was a really nice time. I enjoyed that. The biggest temperature departure, I don't have it here, but it easily occurred on Thursday. I think it was Thursday or Friday, maybe. This past week, when it was 78. Obviously, that's well above normal. Your normal's in the upper 50s at that point. Now you're down to closer to the mid 50s, but I mean, that's just tremendous. Lowest temperature, only 36. That is pretty warm. Of course, we're going to blow by that tonight and the next couple of days, but you're only going to have one day where you could actually technically count as October in co-op land. So, so 2 3/4 inches of rainfall. If you do that for the Sunday morning ob and the Monday morning ob, 2.17 of that has fallen on the weekend. And if you include Friday, 2.73 out of 2.75 inches of the rain have occurred on the weekend. Friday's part of the weekend. I got into like a little conversation at home about this. Friday's part of the weekend. I mean, it is, especially here. So the rain likes to wait for the weekends. The weeks like to be dry. You know, you got 0.02 of an inch total during the weekdays. That's kind of just a disruption on your walk to Panera type of rain. Your high temperatures are averaging about 3 degrees above normal. That skewed pretty low compared to where it was yesterday, thanks to a high of only 51 or 50. What was it? 50? It was 51. Whatever it was, it's cold. So it actually nudged down the average by 0.5 degree, which is pretty remarkable. Low temperature average did not move because it was 47 last night, earlier yesterday. The temperature didn't exactly move yesterday all that much. What I thought was interesting on 10/28, 4 cooling degree days, pretty remarkable for the time of year. However, I was trying to see, just how dramatic that is, how often it occurs, either late October, early November. A good monthly breakdown exists on the PSU climate website. There's a lot of good resources there, a lot of good new maps that I know Carl Schneider and the rest of the team worked on. And last year, November 2022, had 6 cooling degree days. So if you don't know what cooling or heating degree days are, it's essentially like your average temperature compared to 65. So it's a cooling degree day when your average temperature is, say, 69 for a day, like your low could be 56, your high could be, I'm not going to do the math, I'm a little rusty. And then it averages out to 69, that's 4 from 65, so that's your 4 cooling degree days, right? So to get that at the end of October is incredible, as is stated in the parentheses, right? So, I mean, it's cool. And then, of course, I had to throw in this graphic because I couldn't fit it on the last slide, but it's pretty indicative of how it's been lately. And, I haven't looked all that closely yet. We're kind of going to do it together at the coming week. But, if I had to bet right now, I think you're going to see measurable rain on the weekend. It just, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this will be the weekend, but, we've been saying that a couple times. So, yeah. 0.37, that kind of surprised me. I thought we got more yesterday. Felt like more. Maybe I just walked during the heaviest of it because, my luck, I guess, walking to watch the Jets game, terrible game. They got a lot more rain than we did. -8 passing yards for the Giants. I mean, how do you even do that? I don't get it. Tyrod Taylor played for almost the full first half, like -8. Anyways, the Jets didn't do that. I'm not trying to boast about the Jets, okay? That was a disaster of a game. Again, only a 4 degree diurnal range. It's gross. And that was for October 29th, kind of an infamous day in weather history, especially for me and for a lot of us. I know a lot of us grew up kind of in the area. You go back to 11 years ago. What did you just notice? It definitely didn't ruin Halloween for me. And I know how much you hate when I say definitely. 11 years ago. So yeah, that's scary. Over 70 billion in damage, 2+ weeks without power. New York Stock Exchange actually closed for 2 days. And yes, my Halloween was canceled. A lot of people's Halloweens were canceled. It is true. I could have gone into more detail, but I think everybody has studied Sandy at some point for a little while because it's just a beast of a storm. And hopefully we never see it again, but who knows. And then if you go back to the year earlier, you get Snowtober, which was 12 years ago instead of so 1 year to the date before it. That's right. 2 years in a row, they said, nope, you can't go trick-or-treating. It's dangerous. This was because, in October of 11, foliage hadn't peaked yet in northern New Jersey. And you got 1 foot+ of snowfall on fully leaved trees. And it's not a good recipe for success. So yeah, up to 2 weeks without power. I think with both of these storms, I missed out on school for over a week, but it's not exactly fun when it's for that reason. I mean, who doesn't love a snow day, especially pre-corona, but it's kind of an uneasy feeling when you go back to school and people still don't have power. And yes, this was actually the first October PSU home game. What's up?
I don't know if I agree with that.
Oh, I mean, that's fair. I found it from a questionable source.
So I don't think so. On the day of the game in 2009. But like a day or two before was when you guys had your snow, I wasn't here,
I think it was during the event, maybe that's what it
like
was.
during the actual.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah,
In
my,
2009, it snowed, I forget how many inches, like a day or two before the.
you gotta love those late October snowstorms. Didn't get any of that this year.
Actually, when it happened,
Oh.
2009.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Of course, you didn't get that this year, it was 78 a couple days ago. A little bit far away from the freezing point, just a little bit, so like 44 degrees. So yeah, I mean, that's cool. I don't think I had measurable snow during any of my home games while I was a student. Granted, I only had 3 years, but, and if you see the map there, there's a little bullseye in northern New Jersey, that's where I'm from. And then kind of going up through New England, you can see a little axis of that heavier snow. In western Mass, southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire, and over towards, was that Portland, Maine? I'm not gonna lie, I always thought Portland was closer to the coast. So Dana looks like she's right on the water, isn't she? Anyhow, incredible snowstorm, and yes, canceled my Halloween. Two of the biggest reasons why I'm here. I mean, without those storms, I don't know if the weather interests me as much as it did. And I'm sure a lot of you say and agree with that, especially if you're from Jersey or even just this region. Those were two crazy weather phenomena that occurred, you know, at the very impressionable age of 11 and 12 for me. Foliage report, I gotta say, I drove here on Thursday. I was on I-80 coming from North Jersey, and it was incredible. So this map is absolutely accurate, and they do a great job. You know, Pennsylvania's gotta have one of the most diverse foliage seasons. You know, it's already past peak in the northern tier, my old stomping grounds near Elmira. Good times. Tioga County, for some reason, standing out like a sore thumb up there. And then you get down towards Seppa, the infamous Seppa, and best color right now. The lower elevations, and of course, you get closer to Philly, it's just not even at the best color yet. So you have to get the update midway through this week. Oh, we love Seppa, don't we? Little microclimate. It's not a micro, it's too big. So average high for today 55, record high 74. That's safe. Low is 38, record low is 20. We're not getting down to 20, although we'll probably be below average for first time in a while. So that'll be, you may want those jackets this week. I haven't said that much this year. Of course, sunset is 6:12, a couple more days of that, and then it's going to be dark really early. How do we feel about daylight saving time? Like, do we like the time change, or okay, we do, Tyler?
We do, yes.
I will die on this hill. The time change is good. I will die on this hill because do you want the sun to rise at 8:45 in the winter?
No.
You're gonna be walking away from your 8 a.m. classes in the dark.
Yeah.
You're saying you want standard time.
I like the change.
Yeah.
I think the change is worth it because I like those 8:30. I mean, I'm selfish. I like those 8:30 sunsets in the summer. You move west of here, it's like 9, or you move to the north. It's incredible. Anyways, just my 2 cents. I'm big. People care about the time change like 4 days of the year. That's all. The day before, the day after, both times. So, and then you don't really hear people about it. So November, just kind of looking ahead here. We start off with an average high of 55. By the middle of the month, it's down to 49. The end of the month, 43. So a big tumble incoming. The low starts at 38, down to 30 by the end of the month. Average low doesn't move as dramatically. The sunrise and sunset view, again, aided by the time change. And you're 740. You're 740 by November 1st, but 2 weeks later, you're up to 656 because of the time change, and then back to 713. The sunset, obviously, a little bit more dramatic. It's 609 November 1st. By the middle of the month, back to 455 and 446 by the end of the month. So yeah, I know it's not the best. Let's just face it, we don't have much daylight in the winter. But we're kind of high up, and it just doesn't happen. Average monthly, I should have said precipitation because this absolutely includes liquid equivalent at this point, is almost 3 inches of rainfall. That's at least according to the co-op site. Like if you average it out on SEASIS, I kind of took my normals here from all time and not necessarily the 30-year, like 1991 to 2020. I just kind of based it off of the history. of, there's not a lot of places that have data back to the 1800s, so. Obviously, I think you got recognized for that, right? At the AMS or the WMO?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, who's tower worker in here? It's fun, right? Maybe not in the winter. When it's icy and you're waking up at 6. Oh, you seem really excited. So November 1st is also the last day where the average accumulated seasonal snowfall is 0. So November 1st, it's up to 0.1. So it should be happening soon, right? We'll see. Not too enthusiastic. By the end of the month, about 2.6. So it's not like you see a lot, but it doesn't mean you can't get a good storm in November. All right, enough. Hope you enjoyed last week. That's what my message for today, because it's not looking as nice. Some would say it's looking less than good. So here's the surface, 12Z this morning. Our area of low pressure is south of State College. You wish you could get in that warm sector, don't you? It's not happening. That's going to keep pivoting to the east-northeast. And yeah, we're going to see some cold air advection behind this. Temperatures either remaining steady in the low 50s or dropping throughout the day and eventually overnight, especially if we can clear enough, which I think we can do it. And the winds could go calm later tonight as well. We could bottom out pretty low. Looking like the coolest temperature so far this season. Pretty safe bet. And if it doesn't happen tonight for some reason, it will over the next few days. Because we're fully on into this like late fall pattern at this point. Just looking at the visible satellites, it like spazzes out when you first switch to the tab on COD. It's kind of weird. This is just a yucky day. I don't know how else to describe it. We're just getting in on the rain right now, and we've got several hours more of alternating between like light rain and moderate rain. That's what I know that the composite reflectivity probably makes it look a little scarier than it really is, but either way, it's a good day to have the umbrella and the rain jacket. But notice off to the west, right behind the system, a very sharp cutoff between like the cloud shield and just lots of abundant sunshine. There's plenty of dry air that's heading our way, and that arrives in time for Halloween. So while Halloween's looking chilly, and I mean chilly, it's looking pretty bright, which is good news. Looking at the old temperatures, this is from 10 a.m. So I doubt they moved. It's been cloudy and rainy. 52 in State College. Yeah, it's probably not going to get above that, maybe a degree. A little bit warmer in SEPA, but not by much. Not as dramatic as a temperature change. Rob, what's up?
No, I'm just making fun of me, I'm telling you, it's supposed to be under my breath, but it was a little loud.
All right, then. So yeah, no, this temperature change looked a lot scarier. Matter of fact, let's do something. Where's the X account? So give me this. Yes. Brr. Yeah, so this was yesterday evening, right? I like it when it's the other way. I like it when it's like a +20. I feel like this happens a lot more, but still. That was dramatic. That was a rude awakening. Yeah. So if we look at the national view, big, some would say huge area of freeze warnings and watches across the central United States, kind of behind that cold front. Out of all my friends that graduated with me and moved to wherever across the country, you know who got the first winter weather advisory? It was Kyle Watson in Lubbock, Texas. I was like, what? We had some flakes in the Adirondacks. That's the best we've done. He's in Texas, and he gets a winter. I mean, granted, their winter weather advisory is like, oh my gosh, we might see a flurry, but like, come on. Locally, we have freeze warnings and frost advisories in effect, and we'll click on the CWH State College. Wow, the old split Center County in half, but this time it's us. I'm guessing the growing season's either over or has already ended up here. Sorry if I'm not. It hasn't ended in Albany, even though we're way past our time. So No, not everywhere got quite as cool. Frost advisories for most of Southeast PA. I mean, here's the deal, if it doesn't happen tonight, it probably happens the next few nights. So it's coming to an end. I mean, probably should. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So we'll start off with a look at the NAM 3K. Everyone's favorite. Pretty good placement up below it. 13Z, not too bad. You know, can get wacky, so. Just want to start off with like some of the short range muzzle models. So the rain lasts a few more hours. Even if it's not raining, it's probably drizzling. It's just a gross day. Temperatures falling pretty quickly behind the cold front. Everyone's classic post-frontal type of day. Yeah, could we see some snowflakes tonight? They probably don't make it here. Maybe in Northwest PA, the usual suspects over towards Erie, but you know, this isn't the best chance for snow in the period because we of course have this kind of potent. It looked a lot better a few days ago, and I was kind of excited, but it's not looking quite as good now. So there's if you look at the bottom left, the RH 700, big wedge of dry air for tomorrow. Should be a lot of sunshine. It's kind of hard to get mostly sunny days this time of year, but tomorrow might be a day where it just says, no, we're doing it. We'll see. I've learned to never forecast mostly sunny in Albany. It can be overcast when you least expect it. It's happened a few times. But here, if you look at the top left, that little thing not digging as far as it was a few days ago, and it makes me sad, but it's going to be the kind of a driver for the slightest chance of some snowflakes here. You know, I was feeling a little more excited, as I said a few days ago. It just looks weaker, looks more moisture starved. Anyway, that comes through Wednesday, early Wednesday, I should say. And so after a dry but cool Halloween, you're looking at another cool, and this time with a little bit of a breeze, day, you know, November 1st. The slightest chance for some flicks. I'll play it out here on the NAM. You can see a better opportunity in Western Pennsylvania. I don't want to just trust the NAM, but you get the idea. It's a signal, and they all have the flakes dying well before they make it past the Allegheny Plateau. So sorry, you'll have to wait a little bit longer. So be it. I'll compare it to the 12Z herd real quick. The HRR, as some people call it, kind of drives me. I'm like, you could save yourself like multiple syllables if you just call it the her. Anyways, it's the little things that get me. I'm sorry. So yeah, maybe there could be a harmless flake tonight. Sure, probably not. I'm not really buying the moisture tomorrow. I think it's just too dry. So yeah, Western Pennsylvania. Could we see what's the snowflake contest? An inch? You need an inch? I mean, probably not. Especially because Erie is just too close to the shore, right? It just stays warmer there. But hey, some people might wake up with a dusting out there. That's kind of cool. Makes it really feel like November. More than anything, just cool. I mean, I can look at some temperatures here. Some 2-meter temperatures. They're gonna be so cold. Yeah, so here's what we're saying. Like, you know, most of Pennsylvania looks below freezing Wednesday morning. Here's Tuesday morning by comparison. So it's just several opportunities to do it the next few days. We'll go to Thursday. Thursday looks like the chilliest of them all. Thursday looks cold. Cold. Not in Philly though. You can't read it. It's kind of tough to read this because it's covered by the stupid New Jersey boundary. But 41 in Philly, everyone else is like 20 or 30 or mid-20s. So Mount Holly, you guys will stay warm. It's just how it goes. By Friday morning, not quite as chilly. So a little bit of a sign of the warm up, and that's because we got a little bit of ridging to build in. And I mean a little bit. Once we get to Thursday, it's not that impressive. I wouldn't even look better. Like it looked better yesterday. I keep saying that. It's a broken record. But you know what? It's another day that Thursday night, we kind of clear out. That's why I can get chilly. You know, you're looking at there's more moisture to the north Thursday. If you look at the bottom left panel. You know, I just don't trust it to be that bright, even if it's not necessarily printing a lot of moisture over us. And beyond that, you know, the big thing we're missing here compared to previous weekends, right? we're not really seeing, let's go to a bigger view here. I think we want Eastern US. We'll compare, actually, I want pivotal for this. Pivotal's better for comparing. So we have big old surface high in, over towards North Carolina, Tennessee. This is on the Euro, that's the CFS. Why do you even show up? What are you doing here? So this is the Euro, the Canadian's a little bit farther north and stronger. GFS almost in the same spot. Why is the CF? Is it okay? Never mind. I must not look at 0Z that much. I usually come into work after 12Z. Does the CFS only come out at 0Z? Like, I don't know. I've never seen it on this panel. Okay, that's enough. Sorry. Notice the GFS and the Euro in pretty good agreement with where this high pressure is located. It's actually a pretty similar spot to the pattern that produced the heat. It started south of us and then slid to the east. We're not going to see that this time. It'll slide to the east. That 540 line so close. The old 540 line. But hey, Friday not looking too bad. And we'll jump forward to Saturday. We're going to see any rain. Well, we got that little system in the Great Lakes on the Euro early Saturday. The Canadian is a little bit grosser. You can see some of the rain remaining near the US-Canadian border and the UP, because I can't believe that's part of the United States sometimes. It just seems isolated. GFS a lot farther west, farther, not further, right?
Thank you.
So trust me, people are very, viewers are like, strong on that too. So by 18Z Saturday, hey, with the way this is set up, we should be getting some warm air advection. I guess because the link is broken half the time for the NBM, I actually put it here. Because if you try to search it on Google now, you got to go to some guy's Twitter and then click it, or X. X, please. So yeah, interesting agreement by the NBM on Saturday at 59. You don't usually see that. That's very strange. But yeah, there's a chance we get closer to 60 again by the weekend. And with a warm air advection regime here at this time of year, you're taking it to the bank. We're getting in the 60s. That's just my opinion and mine only. What happened last week? I bet you had 2 meter temperatures that were upper 60s, lower 70s. Next thing you know, it's 78. So you just overperform this time of year, and watch out for it in the spring too. You'll get those 70-degree days in February and March. They'll be breezy. You can go outside. It's kind of annoying when your stuff flies everywhere in wind, but you're outside in February. That should be a W in and of itself. So just a look at the NBM the next few days. Look at that. You have like a lot of members clustering below the official output of the NBM for Thursday morning. So if a lot of things go right, if you end up having the winds go calm, you clear out, which, the panels I showed on the E-wall before support it. The NBM cloud cover, although, that's everyone's opinions mixed on that one. But the bottom line is it looks like it could be a clear night with light to calm winds. Should be the coldest morning of the season and for the foreseeable future. I think, because you can notice here the little uptrend in the overnight lows, kind of more bearable, not necessarily heavy jacket weather, but this is probably entering the beginning of next week. Looks like sweatshirt weather. Looks like perfect sweatshirt weather. Maybe take it off from that. It's the best way to describe it. But like I said, Saturday and Sunday looking like days you could reach 60. I would bank it. We'll see. I'll be keeping an eye on it because I like to. I don't know. All right, are we gonna get rain this weekend or any precipitation? Look at the Euro try to spit out some moisture. You know what's gonna happen, guys. Yeah, I don't care if the system's far away. Yeah, if you like the European model, you're gonna get something. Why are you back here? Geez, that GFS is a lot slower, isn't it? But the low is Canadian may even have a low, that's funny. Obviously, the European is north of Vermont at that point, and your Goofus is north of Michigan. And you know, the actual cold front with a little bit of occlusion. The cold front is well further west of PA. And oh boy, it's gonna be close, guys. Are we gonna get a dry weekend? No, we're not. There's just too much in close proximity with this low of resolution. I mean, something's gonna fire up. You know what? Can we get something to trigger it, right? Tell you what. Could it wait till early Monday, right before the ob, and get obbed in for Monday? I mean,
No. I want to ob with no preset.
no.
It's gonna respond.
It's been remarkable. I mean, it was almost like a joke this past week. We were like, it's gonna warm up, and then because you can't have a nice weekend, it's gonna completely change by the weekend. You know, this time around, we're not looking at like an event like today. I think that's safe to say. We're not looking at a day that is like a washout. But I fully expect there to be measurable precipitation this weekend. And you know, we kind of looked at it on the NBM. Temperatures look to be at or slightly above average, at least if that verified. We can look at the Climate Prediction Center, which I haven't done in a while. So yeah, pretty close to normal for Pennsylvania, right? Precipitation looking, that's not where precipitation is. It's on the right there. You know, maybe a little bit more than lake effect land. Oh, that's 6 to 10 day, yeah, duh. And okay, so interesting. You notice there's some good confidence for the week 2 period. The trends, if you will, indicate that you know, there's a better than average chance for some precipitation. I guess let's dive into that, right? So the week 2 period would begin next Monday or Tuesday? I don't want to set up the audio professional setting Zoom, I'm sorry. This is of course just the I mean, looks like it could be a bigger storm. Go to the GFS. Let's just see what the deterministic is spitting out at the point. Yeah. Oh, look at that high. I don't know if the GFS would agree with that. Never mind. All right. Well, I think the takeaways here is the weather's not as entertaining as last week. Because why did I go here? It's just not going to be anything crazy. It's kind of your typical fall-like week. Of course, as I said, Thursday looks the chilliest morning, but then we're back into the mid to upper 50s, and I would say lower 60s by the weekend. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. We're not looking at any big storms coming through, you know. So, anybody have any questions or anything? Hi, Bill.
So if I were to tune to your station
Yeah,
on my television, what number would it be then?
10. TEN.
Wow.
I know it's creative, right? We've got a 10 in our logo, and we're WTEN. So I think they were also on channel 8 or 23. I don't know, it changes. On Fox and ABC. So, what's up?
So one of the things I thought was interesting when I worked with local TV is that I kind of hear from the other nets at the station on like storms that everybody in your viewing area remembers or talks about. What has been kind of like passed along to you about like notable storms for Albany, whether that be snow or otherwise?
They got hit by the October Snowtober. It's just that one doesn't stand out as much as you know, it does for like North Jersey, because you know, climatologically they can get snow early. It's not as rare. Versus North Jersey, it literally disrupted the whole area for a week. So that one, while it was notable, wasn't like, you know, if you grew up there, it wouldn't have stood out like it did for me. They got hit by similar storms that, like Irene and Tropical Storm Lee. They received a lot of rainfall. I know I forget the exact place, but you know, there's a lot of valleys up there, a lot of runoff. And when they had Irene then Lee, there was some historic flooding there. And then this most recent summer actually is gonna stand out for a lot of folks. Because, let me see if I can find a good map to illustrate this. I want to use the high plains. Because like, I think especially like over towards Vermont and Western New England, Northwestern New England, I should say, I guess. They received like an insane amount of rain compared to normal. And like when I was visiting WTEN to like, you know, think about it. That was kind of the big weather story. It was like, you know, FEMA's declaring state of emergency or whatever. Like it was big. So that's gonna stand out for a lot of people. Like the summer of 23, not only did it rain every weekend, which I don't know if I said this in here, but I did some digging, and if you go back to, well, you know, if you include Friday, you have to go back to Memorial Day weekend for the last time it was completely dry in Albany on a weekend. So it's been, you know, it's insane how much it's rained on weekends. And if you don't include Friday, it still goes back to August. So it's been a remarkable wet stretch. But as I said, that summer, it was like almost like, wow, here we go again, more rain. WBC has us in a slight or moderate risk for flash flooding or excessive rainfall, I should say. So this summer will stand out for a lot of people because it was incredible. Sorry, I'm moving a little slow here. Percent of normal, let's do last 90 days. Last 120 days. Just playing around what looks the most dramatic, right? I will go to the north. Does this have the northeast? All right, so anywhere in purple from the beginning of July till now received between 150 and 200% of the normal precipitation. And it's such a wide area, and that terrain up there is incredibly mountainous. So, you know, you go from, you're almost like close to sea level in the Hudson Valley here, and then you get to like closer to 4,000, 5,000 feet just to the east. The snow maps are going to be ridiculous that we make because it's so dependent on terrain, upslope, downsloping effects. But you can see most of Western New England is either 130 or 150+% of normal since the start of July. June wasn't that bad. July and August were just ridiculous. And August to an extent, but the worst of it happened in July. So those are the ones that stand out to me. You know, I don't think they have like an Agnes type storm. And that's like Pennsylvania's storm to refer to, Agnes. Yeah, you know, they have their snowstorms too that drop like widespread 20+ inches, but I couldn't name the exact dates. I think we'll kind of take a look at that closer. I mean, probably when I get back, because we are close to winter now, up there especially. It's gonna start soon. You know, we have snow on our forecast, so we have it up there, you know, on here. Sorry guys, no snow for you, not yet. So yeah, that was a little rambly, but yeah, I don't have any solid answer to that yet, other than people will still reference like it's been such a wet summer, and we're in the end of October. So
Kevin, there's some questions for you in the YouTube chat.
oh no. Is it Kevin? Is it Kevin?
I don't know if you can see. No, there's just some random person talking in Spanish.
Oh. Well, yeah, I can't see it.
Yeah, you can see.
All right, well, I haven't taken Spanish in about 5 years, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to really help. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much, I'm sorry. It's kind of not the most entertaining weather week, other than it's our coolest period yet. So, I hate wearing a winter jacket. You know what though, I will say, once we get to like November, let's just do the cold, freeze the lakes, wanna go skating. I like summer and winter. I don't like fall or spring. A little controversial, yeah. Yeah, so anybody else have anything?
I'm actually curious, because I live in Northeast PA.
Yeah,
And over the summer, kind of similar to Albany, it got hit one after another, one after another.
yeah,
And I've noticed too, that we got a lot of thunderstorms, particularly this.
well, that must be nice. I
Yeah,
think
at
it's-
night, we got them at
Yeah.
night a lot, I don't know how the case was in Albany, but I'm curious,
Well,
if you remember.
I mean, a lot of our weather's just slightly behind you guys.
Yeah.
We didn't get a lot of thunder up there.
we
It
did.
just didn't happen. You know, it did happen when I first moved there. Like, it's not like it never happened, but it just didn't. You know, I don't remember. There was like one storm that produced hail, like piece, like Dippin' Dots almost, right? Like nothing. That was towards the end of August, if I recall.
We did one of those storms too.
Yeah, you know, we had a couple. I mean, time of day. I mean, I remember being awake for it. I do also remember being woken up by a storm, so I'll give you that. But that was part of like a larger like synoptic scale system. That wasn't just like a pop-up thunderstorms or anything. That was like a cold front moving through. So you know, and that happens. That's not crazy.
Yeah.
The thing that stands out to me, like, and I've been kind of like hammering home here, is that it just rains every weekend up there. And even though the signals don't look great for this weekend, I bet you have 1/100 of an inch at least. You can't do it. Can't do it. You could have a giant H over State College and I still wouldn't buy it yet. So, yeah. You know, a good amount of nighttime storms. I think I woke up once or twice.
There were really a lot of midnight to 4 a.m. storm Fridays.
Aren't those
Especially in
cool?
July and August.
Do you like those?
If they don't wake me up in the middle of the night, if they did most of the time, which is good, then I'm fine with that.
That's fair.
But I don't like seeing them during the day, because I've been seeing the storm clouds and everything.
That's true. You could obviously, without any dispute, you can see the structure of all the storms a lot better. But there is something to the lightning lighting up the night sky. I think that's like my favorite. Everything's so quiet, and then you just hear that thunder. I don't know. It's cool. But yeah, a good amount of rain at night.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? Well, thank you for having me. This is awesome. Wish she had a better like weather pattern, just like a.
Thanks everyone for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You should always.
Thank you. If we even go into detail, there's nothing happening. It was awesome, dude.
Come back soon. Kevin, good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. How you doing?
I was actually pretty good. I'm actually, Albany is my top grad school at the
Oh,
moment.
really? You all me? I've
Yeah,
heard
you always,
good things, so.
yeah, I'm actually, looking at research with, Kenny, so, yeah.
Okay, nice.
So I might actually be coming to Albany. Appreciate
It's
it.
a good, yes, you agency up there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
All my friends are up there, so.
yeah, awesome. Capital region is waiting.
Well, then Mackie is hi.
I will.
Graduated together.
I love that he's up there with me. He's got like a contagious person.
Yeah, that hit from day one.
Yeah. I'm in the way, I don't like it. But yeah, no, I definitely will. I also remember saying something to him when I first started there, because I had seen you right before, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, I think he's freaked out because you're like doctor, or she's out, right? She's like, I went to school with someone that's a doctor. Like he was like kind of like, oh, like it was quick, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, no, I definitely will again. But he's been awesome.
Stuff out there.
I love watching how he does his work. Like it's. I hope I can be that like smooth with things.
Yeah, he started out in Georgia and was
Make it.
really itching to get back up quasi north. And
Yeah.
It seems like he's been thriving ever since. He's been there for several years.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think pre-COVID.
yeah. So he's been out. I mean, he fights like every time he's out. He goes to Adirondacks. Like
Yeah, I had a.
first of all, he's people that walk in. Like he was out for a week for his honeymoon, and people were like, "Did you replace Mackie?" I'm like, "No. Because then, if that was ever the case, you'd be like, "You're not Mackie." People love Mackie in the gym. Yeah. And he's great. It's deserved. He works hard, and I love Mackie. We don't get to work together a lot. he's morning, I'm night. And even during the week, he works through like, he'll work like 5:30 to 1:30. I'll come in at like 11 to 7, but we only have one day of lunch.
Just doing kind of
So,
class.
Spare weather in the spring and.
exactly, it'll happen and maybe some snowstorms. This past week we worked a lot because we had to shift all our schedules around because
Cause you were going away.
no, because someone had a family emergency, someone else, so. Me and Mackie worked like 4 days together, Mackie and I, right, Mackie and I?
Mackie and me,
Mackie's,
Mackie and me.
no, because I worked. Yeah, it's I, has to be, Mackie and I, Matt Mackie and I worked together. For
You say that. Well, let's see.
that. I worked,
So it's whatever you would say in a singular sense. So like,
I would think
I worked,
yeah.
Mackie and I worked.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
but if you're gonna say,
the first time that,
come with me. Come
Right.
with Jake and me,
yeah,
you know, that's how you would say it that way. You would say, come with Jake and I.
like how many important things here.
Thanks, that is important.
Thank you for bringing the food on, everyone enjoyed the food. I'm gonna enjoy this now.
Guys for eating it.
I'll get out of here, everyone.
How the hell is it literally? I'm doing like a.
Yeah, we should talk better to go back to that, like.
It's gonna be cold.
Like.
It's different.
Well, that's the thing, it's like after October, it's so warm. It's past week.
Those paper towels, just put them out here on the counter, please.
Oh, sure, man, I know where that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like after October, it's. They're below average for a change. It was more dramatic and all, we're like 5 degrees above average, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's incredible. It has not felt like October. And it's funny because I was all like crazy about it during the beginning of the month. We got warmer in the first week of October, 2 days in a row, than at any point in August. Like, how does that happen? You know what I mean? We did not get above 84 in August because almost every day it was like afternoon convection. Like, not necessarily like the strongest thunderstorms, but just,
Enough to keep the max down.
yeah, so. It was amazing, didn't happen, and then literally first week of September, we're in the 90s. Like, where was this?
Yep.
But
Every
it's
time.
just been so wet and like. It's almost comical at this point, how many times we've put rain on top of them, they're like 7 days out, like. Well, guys, looking ahead to the weekend after such a beautiful and dry week with temperatures well above average, we're gonna cool down and see a washout. And it's just, people are like, oh, come on.
I'll flip it around in the winter and it'll be really every weekend you get 48 and sun somehow and no snow on the ground.
Exactly, it'll stop completely at that point.
Yeah,
You just realize this is still running, where's Christian?
I was still recording. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I hope Mac is watching.
Yeah, right?
Alright, good seeing you, man. Take care.
Might probably wrap this right up.
Okay.
Thank
you so much.
Oh, my pleasure, man.
So we'll see.
You think so, or you?
I'm flying for it, yeah.
That'd be cool, man.
basically, yeah, it's really became like bad, and the coffee thing wasn't even all bad.
Oh god, it happens.
Yeah, I was very confused by that, I never had that happen before. Cool.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all-
Cool, you know, it's like, I was like, oh, what are you doing, I don't think it's here.
Oh no, you're fine. Well, I once spilled like a smoothie.
Oh,
Out in the weather center, like from like Jamba Juice.
oh, the Jamba Juice, I never had the Jamba Juice here before,
Yeah, the one in the hub, yeah, it's pretty good.
nice, yeah, no,